folk. Well, part of the venture that we were going on today was going to lead us into Citizens Bank in Deep River, Connecticut, which is pretty much where the old bank, the Deep River Savings Bank, I believe it was called. But the site now is a Citizens Bank. And the gun that shot XYZ, the spent casing, and multiple reports about him, they have there. Unfortunately, they wouldn't let me record in there and take any pictures of the gun or anything. However, we did get lucky, and I did look online, and I found pictures of the gun, found pictures of the people and XYZ, and so forth. So I'm just going to incorporate those in this video, since we couldn't go in to Citizens and do it. And however, the second part of this trip is going to take us right here to the Fountain Hill Cemetery. This is where our story pretty much ends / begins. Be back with you, folks. Alright, folks. Well, since we couldn't hit the Citizens Bank area, we're just going to do the whole shoot right here, I guess. This is where it's taking us anyways. This is where the story of this guy basically begins and ends to an extent. But anyways, I'll tell you the story of the situation, and just picture yourself. It's Deep River, Connecticut. It's your typical cold winter day, and it's December 13th, 1899. 4 thugs are coming through, and their goal is to rob the Deep River Savings Bank. There was 4 of them. Little did they know, however, that somebody had tipped the bank off about a year earlier. So they had plenty of time to prepare for this. And the Deep River Savings Bank at the time had like over $1 million in its holdings. Deep River was a bit of a boom town with the ivory trade boom and the piano industry. So they were doing quite well, and they had quite a bit of money here. So these guys knew what they were coming for. However, having plenty of time to prepare is exactly what the bank did. And so the bank hired Harry Tyler. And he was known as very good with a gun, fearless, had some sand in his gut. So they hired him to watch over the bank. And after a while, a lot of people started thinking, this isn't really going to happen, whatever. But then one night, Harry stayed vigilant. And one night he saw 4 men approaching, so I believe they say it was around 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, or something like that. So it was late at night, and they're creeping up on the bank, and Harry sees them. And he sees one of the guys with a pistol, and he had a Winchester riot gun, which was, for its class, quite the weapon back in those days. And he took aim, shot, boom, one of them dropped. The other 3 scurried, they took off, they ran, not to be seen from it again, I guess. But so now they have this dead, unidentified man, and I guess they took him to the coroner. And they kept him there for a while in hopes that somebody would either come and claim the body or claim who it is or whatever. And nobody ever did. So they ended up donating a burial plot for him in the cemetery in Deep River. And later on, a letter was written. And the only thing it said was that if they could put the letters XYZ on his grave. That's all the letter wanted. And at first, the grave was it was marked with your typical wooden cross, and they carved in XYZ. And of course, over the years, that rotted. So they got like a piece of granite, I think it is, or whatever, marble, whatever the stone is. They got that and carved XYZ in it, and that's what stands today. And that's where we're at today. And she would stop by once a year to XYZ's grave and leave a single rose. Nowadays, as you can see, There's a bunch of change and everything, a shell, a rubber ball, a piece of glass. You know, people will leave something in remembrance. Also, there's also urban legend that if you do not leave something, that XYZ will come back and haunt you. So we'll give him a little something. Throw a little penny there. And, well, let's make sure he really stays away. We'll give him a dime, too. So, that is the story of XYZ, the bank robber. Alright, so XYZ was later identified as Frank Ellis, known bank robber. And he was described by the papers as a deep-dyed criminal with a long black mustache. He also had a few other aliases of Frank Howard and Tommy Brett. But in the end, the one that made him the most famous was XYZ. Alright, folk, I'm at the Piano Works now, where back in the day they used to make a whole bunch of pianos and stuff, and hence another reason probably the ivory came through here. But I figured I'd show you this part real quick. It's a what do you call it, apartment building now, so I can't get in. I can get into the front door but not the next door, and it's got a bunch of cool pictures and stuff of the ivory and of this and that. It'd be cool to get in there to see it, but I don't know anybody here, so I don't think I'm getting in there to get it. But there's a big old piano back here, so I figured I'd fill you in. Yep, this is where they made the pianos. So the ivory trade boom, the pianos. This is why Deep River had all that money in the bank that XYZ wanted to rob. So anyways, I think this is going to be the last stop, and I'm going to get back into town, hit a spot with Wi-Fi so I can upload this and get this out to you. But until then, don't forget, always forward to the next adventure. The vlog is down.